blockchain-based fund asset control system. The main structures that are engaged in creation and support of favorable environment for startup companies are grant funds and government. Startups develop their projects using grant awards from grant funds, thereby covering the expenses for required services. To become connected to the system, startup will need to leave an inquiry for financing on a fund's website and pass the validation. In case of successful passing of every stage of examination, the startup becomes a competent participant of the system, where it gets to the first level of project development cycle. Service providers can also offer their services by leaving the inquiry on a fund's website. After receiving the inquiry, fund conducts quality control examination of the service by sending its representatives to the production field. After getting the official accreditation and passing the moderation, all of the participants take their places in the system structure. The process of adding new startups and service providers is continual and is conducted according to the amount of approved inquiries. Any interested party can get its place in the system if it corresponds the requirements and passes all stage of examination. Every grant fund supervises its startups and service providers without having an access to the system participants of other grant funds. After getting to the system, fund distributes governmental subsidies by the mean of inter-blockchain-based vouchers that equal 1-to-1 to a country currency. When the startup appeals for financing, fund provides it with a sum in local vouchers called ENC Local. It is programmed that startup can spend this sum only for required services whose service providers have been accredited by the fund in its country according to the kind of activity. Appealing to service providers, the startup pays for service, and after the work completion, it leaves its review and rates the work. As the startup gradually develops, it gets to other levels of development till its final stage. All the transactions within the system are commission imposed. The amount of commission depends on the sum of transaction. Commission assets are spent on the ecosystem's maintenance and improvement. The process of actual money transition happens after the services provider accumulates a certain amount of ENC local vouchers. Service providers apply to funds through the dialog box asking for bank transfers in national currency. The transfer will be conducted automatically after vouchers get to the crypto account. After the payment, three-sided contracts are formed automatically in order to regulate the legal relationships of the participants. ENC local vouchers cannot be considered as actual money because they never leave the system and exist only as a mean of control. In case if startup needs a particular service which is outside of the fund's ecosystem, it can obtain this remote service through the automated payment system. The system will exchange the internal vouchers into the international exchange vouchers called ENC, which equals $1. In this case, the executor will be the vouchers system representative that will conduct exchanging operations between local and international vouchers and fiat money. During every operation, all the documents are uploaded in the system in order to trace any activity at any given time if it's necessary. That way, funds, inter-vouchers, startups, and accredited service providers create their own environment fully open and transparent. The benefits of such a system are automated process of financing and automated control of funds based on blockchain, transparency of accounting and possibility of online tracking of the resources. Pay-as-you-go or delayed payment for services is possible. As the system makes document circulation a much simpler process, it provides opportunity to use not only company services, but also services of private companies with high level of expertise in the required fields. The system doesn't require big expenditure for human resources. Advanced Startup Development System. All this allows existing grant funds to cut their expenditure significantly and make the work much easier. Thanks to the presented system, every city can build a universal innovation hub.